Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Wednesday webinar. We are focusing today on all of the updates, improvements, and very exciting enhancements that we have added to the newest version of New Order 4.0. We will be touching on some updates in line sheets, custom lists, contact groups, and campaigns during this session. So to start, if we go ahead, I'm logged into the new version of New Order 4.0, and this is the interface that you will have. If I go into line sheets to start, so some exciting updates that we've made here. Number one, when clicking into a line sheet, you have the product laid out traditionally as you have, in 3.0, but we now give you options to change the vantage point or the viewpoint of all of these products. And you can do that by using these toggles right here in the upper right. And it will change the way that you're looking at the screen and make products a little bigger or smaller, or move the information to alongside the product as well. Okay, we've also made some updates to sending out these line sheet campaigns. So if I go ahead and click send, the pop-up happens that actually sends out the line sheet, but there's some new features here. So number one, you have the option right here to actually save this as a draft campaign and send it out later. And I'll show you where that can be found so you can trigger it back up and use that. But this is a new feature. You also have the option now to send yourself a test email, which you did not have before. So, in the previous version, you could only send it out, the campaign or the line sheet, but now you can actually save it and return to it, or just go ahead and test it out by sending a copy to yourself. Additionally, we've gone ahead and added a CC field here. Okay, so to use this, you're going to toggle off the easy order, and then you can go ahead and start CCing. This is huge because this will give you the ability to send out line sheets to prospects, right? So they don't actually have to be a contact that's in New Order. Right here, so if you start typing in this field, it will pull through or pull up contacts that you already have in your system, so current customers. But by with the addition of the CC field here, you can go ahead and list out any of your prospects or any customer for that matter that actually isn't currently buying the line or listed in your contacts tab. Okay. Another update that we've made to the line sheets tab is this little plus sign right here. So basically this is available for those who are creating the master line sheets in this tab, so admins. Okay, so if you are admin, creating a line sheet just was made that much easier. So you can add from the all products tab like we've previously trained you, but now you can also quick add right from the line sheet itself. So if you click this plus sign that says add items, you'll see the product pop up. You're able to literally click on the product and drag and drop it into the line sheet. Okay, and not only that, one second, not only that, this is where the headers will be, so you can go ahead and literally take the header and drag and drop it into your line sheet as well. You see what I just did? I drag and dropped that header right here. Okay, so again, you can literally drag and drop product onto the line sheet, drag and drop the headers onto the line sheet, and not only that, you can search for product here, so it will actually search the entire product gallery or all of the browse all products. So go ahead and start typing in any style, name or number or color field, and it will populate the products for you. And then you also have access to filters even right here, so you can filter down what product you're looking at to quick add to your line sheet. So this has definitely enhanced, the ability to just quick add and edit your line sheet as you go, and made it that much faster and easier to use. If you are the admin as well, and you are creating these master line sheets, you'll see too that we put right here, we've condensed all of the line sheet settings for you so that you can, customize all of the settings on your line sheet. So if by clicking this, you'll have this drop down appear that lets you just sort of set up the structure of the line sheet. Okay. Moving on now, we're going to go into custom lists. So some updates in custom lists, and a lot of these updates actually parlay back into line sheets as well. But I'm going to go ahead and into a custom list. Just want to make sure everybody is taking note here that, again, you can switch that viewpoint and look at the product differently if you want. Same thing was available in line sheets. You can also go ahead and quick add here. So that quick add feature that was added to line sheets, where only admin will be using that to edit that master line sheet. Now all users can go ahead and quick add products and use this feature when you're in your custom lists because they're unique to your profile. So if you clicked add items, right, it's the same concept. You can go ahead and drag the product into your custom list. You can use the headers in your own custom list. Searching here for different products to pull in, and again, filters are available as well. So it makes this whole quick add feature really easy to use. Another great new feature, and this was available on line sheets as well, you'll see that this is now present, view and edit notes. So we've made the ability to add notes by product on your line sheet or custom list easier than ever. So you go ahead and toggle this on. And then here you can go ahead and add notes by style and go all the way through the product just like this. So very, very easy to add notes. And it's auto saving again as you go. So you don't need to do anything else. Some other features in custom lists that were also added to line sheets. Again, in the send button, you're going to have all of those same enhancements that we did to the line sheet send. Those are all rolled out to the custom list area as well. So, you'll be able to save your custom list this way, or save it as a campaign if you want, and send it out later. You can also send yourself a test. You can also now CC here as well, or basically send the line sheet to prospects or contacts that are not currently in your new order. Okay. Now, moving on to contact groups. So we have updated and enhanced this area as well. So I'm going to here, contact groups. Now, when I'm in contact groups, we used to just have smart groups within contact groups. So one type of mass blast list, but now we've added a second type and it's called fixed. And I'll walk you through the difference. So when I go ahead and create contact group, it will ask me now, which type of mass blast list are you trying to create, right? So number one, smart. So what is a smart one, right? So create new. So when I create a smart group, right, a smart list within this whole mass blasting feature, basically I'm using the search fields over here to create the mass blast list. So it creates the list based on specific like attributes, right? So if I selected, let's say, all of Florida, right, for example, then that smart group would be reflective of that attribute. Okay, so why is that important? Why does that matter, right, for a smart group? Because it auto updates on its own. So you can create this smart group, like here you could go ahead and maybe just search this searchable field to search as rep name. Okay, so you could go ahead and search yourself, as the rep, right? And then any of your buyers will pop up, that are attached to you. And you can just go ahead and title it, like Amanda's, right? And it auto-saved on its own. And then you can use this smart group at any point down the road. And why this is important is it's auto-updating on its own. So as you continue to add contacts into new order, it's a smart group. It's intuitive. So as your buyer base, grows in your portal, so will that smart group on its own. Okay, so that's why, that's what a smart group really is. And again, some enhancements here. This searchable field will search many attributes. So one of which is reps, okay? And then you can go ahead and further filter down if you want and maybe add, specific states or even zip code or country. And that's sort of how, so that's a smart group, okay? So we added, though, a second type of mass blast list here. So create contact group. So we talked about smart. So we also added fixed, okay? So create new. And what is fixed and how is fixed different than smart groups? So a fixed list actually lets you individually add contacts to your mass blast list, and it will auto save. So it's not by category, right? It's not by an attribute. You are adding who you want to this specific list and then saving it and using it, and you're adding to it as you go or whenever you want. It won't auto update on its own. So we can maybe call this Amanda's off price. We'll call this maybe Amanda's like spa accounts, right? So then she can search for specific contacts and then add it just like that to the fixed contact group, which is a mass blast list, and it auto saved. So she could just keep going and keep adding one by one, onto this list, and it will save here as a fixed list. So then you can use it at any point, when you're sending out a line sheet or you're sending out a custom list to anybody by clicking on contact groups. You'll have all of your fixed lists saved there as well as your smart groups saved there. And again, the smart groups will auto update themselves because they're mass blast lists based on specific attributes. And then the fixed list, you're free to update them as you please. Okay, so those are two big changes that we've made to this whole contact group. The other item here I want to just point out is visibility. So this was actually also present in the smart group. Even, we're in a fixed group, but this is the same thing in smart group as well. So you also have the option when you're creating it to make it private, meaning you're the only one who sees and can access this list to use, to mass blast, or you can make it shared. So the team as a whole can access and use this mass blast list as well. So, probably if you're making a fixed list, it's most likely private. It's a custom list that you've made for yourself to use, but maybe sometimes a shared one is more region oriented, right? So maybe you included the entire Southwest, and then maybe, that's what you're titling that smart group, and maybe that would be a shared one so that everybody on the team could utilize that. Okay, now I'm going to go into campaigns because we've made some updates here as well. So everybody knows with 4.0 now, the minute you send out a line sheet or a custom list, either to an individual or mass blast, it's also captured and saved in campaigns. And the purpose of the campaigns tab is to give you guys another resource to be able to drill into some of those line sheets or custom lists that you sent out, and then understand the metrics and understand the activity that's happening with the buyers the minute that you sent it out, right? So it's giving you just further insight as to what's happening with that line sheet or that campaign when you're sending it out to the buyers, and who's clicking on it, who's opening it, right? How many orders are generated from it, that type of thing. So some enhancements that we made to this area. So number one, if you remember the new feature when I was showing you when you were sending out a line sheet or custom list, you had the option to save it as a draft campaign and then send it out later. So if you did do that, you can find all of your draft campaigns here under drafts, and then you could open them up and send them. Or so you can toggle basically between status, okay? And then otherwise you will default into the sent ones. Some other big updates here, we've actually changed the entire layout and included these visual graphs so you can understand the status of the line sheet in a more visual manner, right? So the metrics will be right below it, and then you have a visual graph, so you can look at the activity from top level. Obviously, still clicking into it's going to give you the more granular viewpoint and all of the details behind the usage. But from a thumbnail, a top-level view in the campaigns tab, it's just much more visual and easy to glance at and get a read. Lastly, I'm just going to jump into all products now. So we added here just a couple different viewpoint icons that I wanted to point out to you guys. So again, we've already talked about how these will change the layout for you, right? But this is also a new icon, and this actually has to do with custom lists. So the minute that you start adding things to a custom list, the first product that you add, it's going to ask you, do you want to add it to one of your current lists, or do you want to make an entirely new list? So depending on what you choose, that makes that list live. So I'm going to say add it to this Feb9 list. Okay, right? So the product is added to that Feb9 list. So now, oops, sorry, that product was already in it. I'll create a new list. Sorry, guys. Okay, created that list. So that is actually the live list now. So the minute that happens, it's going to show me here, right, through this little, from this viewpoint icon right here, which list from then on out is my live list, my quick add list, right, that I'm adding to. And it's going to show me how many products that I actually have in that live list. And again, it's going to give you the option to quickly switch which is the active list, which would bring up your entire list of, your entire catalog of all of the custom lists that you have saved. So it's still very easy. But it gives you, it just makes it a little bit more visual as to, when you're actually, liking product or putting it into this whole, your personal line sheet that you're creating and sending out. It just makes it a little bit more visual for you to understand how many products you have in there and which list it is. So those are all of the updates and enhancements that we've made so far to 4.0. It will be going completely live very shortly, so we're very excited for that. And stay tuned in the upcoming Wednesday webinars to make sure that you know any of the continued best practices and future updates that we're making. Okay, thanks.